It is time to skip the BS. It's time for Undisputed. It's time for me to talk LeBron and his son Bronny with a friend of LeBron's, a lifelong Laker fan, Keyshawn Johnson. Good morning to you,
What's
sir.
up, Skip? How you doing this morning? What do you want?
I hope you're readier for me than my Cowboys were for Green Bay that playoff day. Jerry.
All year long, better yet.
All year long. That's a whole nother story. But let us now talk about Bronny, because he trended all day yesterday on Twitter, and that was because of a report from longtime respected college basketball insider Dick Weiss, who said Bronny would enter the transfer portal, which obviously indicated he's interested in playing his second season of college basketball. Yet, Weiss later deleted and retracted that report, saying he couldn't confirm it, but that Bronny entering the portal would, quote unquote, make sense if it happens. Okay. So here's how LeBron reacted to Weiss's report. This was following last night's Laker win in Toronto.
At the end of the day, Bronny's his own man. He has some tough decisions to make. And when he's ready to make those decisions, he'll let us all know. But as his family, we're going to support whatever he does.
Okay. So the point is that LeBron made it clear that he's not sure where that report came from. That was the first thing he said. So what do you, Keyshawn, expect Bronny to do?
I expect for him, most likely, could I expect him most likely? Does that make any sense?
Coming from you, it does.
Enter the transfer portal.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you would say that. Okay.
I expect that to take place.
All right. And by the way, for those who don't remember, you did go to USC and play for USC, and you're close with everybody at USC, and your coach just left.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when Infield decided to part ways with USC and go to SMU, that doesn't mean Bronny won't leave and go to SMU if he enters the portal. That could be a possibility. But I think when you start to look at his goals is obviously to get better as a basketball player, so when the time comes, he can go to the NBA, he'll be ready to play, all of those sort of things, and give yourself a real, true opportunity to play. I think so much is made of who he is, his last name, all of those sort of things. So people automatically, instantly just going to assume he's ready to go no matter what anybody says. In the end, he's got a lot of work to do as a basketball player, which he knows, his parents know, all of those things. The new coach that's coming in, whoever that may or may not be, I don't know who it's going to be, he may not be their flavor. They may not want the fanfare and all the different stuff that goes with being Bronny James. They may just say, hey, I don't want to deal with this. I saw how it went for Andy. Why would I want to take this on? Or he comes in with a different type of system that Bronny doesn't fit in. If Bronny enters the transfer portal, what he needs to do is find a place where he can get buckets and get minutes. He doesn't have to worry about going to a big-time Power 5 school. He can go somewhere down, for instance, he get into the transfer portal and there's a school, Pepperdine, for instance. Down the street, you're still in L.A., but you're going to go and be the man there. You're going to go fill it up, showcase your skills. You're going to be a true, one-and-done situation where guys say, hey, I'm going in here to get ready for the NBA. I don't have time to be trying to chase a national title and all those sort of things. I'm ready to go and fill it up. So that would be my advice to him as an outsider, is find a place that makes sense to develop your skills and your selfishness. Forget everything else. This is going to be about me being selfish right now. I need to just go somewhere where I'm going to be able to initiate the offense. I'm going to be able to fill it up. I'm going to be able to get, 30 minutes a game, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to be the man. That's what I would think he would do.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start from the start. As you well know, this was LeBron's firstborn, his son, and he named him LeBron James Jr.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a burden to carry? That's a name to carry, because that's the name to carry.
Anytime you or named after your father who is famous or whatever, it's going to be tough. It's just the reality of it.
This young man, who is wise and mature way beyond his years, has carried that mantle that he was given from his father the way very few kids could carry that mantle. He has been sensational standing up to that legacy that he was born into. So I start with that. Now I go to what happened last year at your school. So he decides to go there with Isaiah Collier, who was the top recruit in the class. And I'm watching both of them just 1 year ago last night in the McDonald's game, and I'm saying, your school's got something cooking now, because
that's what we thought.
Well, that's what you thought, because you had a couple other recruits, and I thought, you know what? 1 year ago last night, I could envision your USC Trojans being in this Final Four that's about to start on Saturday. Well, I could see it.
We couldn't get in the Final 64, let alone the 4.
You couldn't get in the Final 64, but I thought it shaped up that way because you had these one-and-dones.
I think we even started off okay, if I can remember.
Well, but you didn't start off with Bronny because he missed the first 8 games because he had a very serious heart condition that he had to deal with.
I think we started off okay.
Okay. I didn't even watch closely for the first 8 games because there was no Bronny. But he struggled, obviously, to get his legs back underneath him when he came back from the heart situation.
As he should.
Absolutely.
How scary is that?
It's as scary as it gets. And Isaiah Collier did not take off the way I thought he would take off, even though down the stretch of the McDonald's game last year, if you remember, I don't know if you remember the end of it, but he came up small at the end of that game. And then he didn't detonate this year at USC the way I thought he would. He didn't turn into what looked like the freshman of the year.
Yeah.
What would he average here? He averaged 16, 3 rebounds and 4 assists, and it never took off. And Bronny struggled, obviously, so he appeared in 25 games. He averaged 19 minutes a game. He started only 6 of those games, as you know, and we've gone over and over these numbers. Mm-hmm. But he winds up as a USC Trojan averaging 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, and only 2.1 assists. But even worse, he shoots 36.6% from the floor. Well, that's not exactly father-like. And even worse, he shot 26.7% from 3. And I'm saying 26.7 because the one thing I thought he could do, starting with the McDonald's game, was he's a pretty good three-point shooter. I thought he'd be a little better three-point shooter than his dad. And then all of a sudden his dad, out of left field, out of the blue, is shooting a career-high 42%
better
from 3.
Than Michael Jordan. I hear you.
Yeah. Does that cinch it for you now that he's the GOAT? All right, we'll see how he does in the playoffs. Can he shoot 42% from 3 in the playoffs?
Skip.
Yeah,
move on.
I'll keep going. All right, so then, and Bronny only shot 67.6% from the free throw line. I'm thinking, what are you doing? Because he can shoot. For whatever reason, it did not work. All right, so I'm going to make a statement that I will never again make and have never made before. Off those numbers, a freshman who averaged, let's just round up, 5, 3, and 2, in 1 year of college basketball, I think he is very ready for the NBA because that's what he was born to do. He is not a great scorer. What he does is he's a basketball player. He knows how to play basketball because he was taught by one of the greatest ever. I don't think he's the greatest, but certainly if you were going to go top 2 ever, you can have top 2 for the sake of this discussion. And one of the smartest, if not the highest basketball IQ ever was his father teaching Son, and Son got that IQ. Son's not as great a passer as his father was, but he's a good passer. And he is a really good high-level defender, and he's starting to get his man body, and he's grown to, I think he's 6'4". I think he's in that ballpark, 6'3" to 6'4". He's listed at 6'4", and I'm with you, you might do this, but he's 6'3" to 6'4". But I like his stature, I like his will, I like his IQ, and he is the aberration here. He's the 1 in a billion who is more suited to me to play pro basketball, especially alongside his father, than he is college basketball. The point being, Keyshawn, let's say he goes to Pepperdine. Let's see.
Yeah, I just use that down the street, whatever. UCI, whatever.
UCI, whatever. Name one.
Yeah.
A smaller school where he could be the man. I'm not sure he's capable of being the man the way you think he could be, where he'd go in, because then you'd say, can he average 24, 28, 30? You know, I don't think he's got that in him.
It's not averaging 30 or anything like that. What it is developing your skills. When you talk about a 6'3", and I wish Paul was here with us, but when you talk about a 6'3" off guard,
he is off. He's not even a pure point.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
so you've got people that are 6'3" and 6'4".
In the next level,
they got some different type of stuff.
Yeah.
So my whole